Well, hello my lovelies, it's Murky Meg here. It's Sunday the 10th of November. Now here in the UK it's a very special day because it is Remembrance Sunday. Now Remembrance Day is normally the 11th of November and we remember the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, and it's marked by a solemn appreciation and a moment of silence in honour of Remembrance Day. But here in the UK, we have a Sunday, which is today, the 10th of November, as a national service of remembrance, where our monarch, King Charles, leads the nation in 2 minutes of silence in remembrance of those who lost their lives in the 2 world wars and other conflicts. So I just wanted to take a few minutes at the start of this video just to say, lest we forget. Now there's a very good reason why I started that video how I did, because I'm going to talk about the absolute disgusting rhetoric on social media that is being thrown towards Catherine, the Princess of Wales. Now, we all know what she's been through. I have very similar experience to what she has actually gone through, and I'm not particularly going into detail in this video because that is my business. But we all remember that on Wednesday the 17th of January this year, this statement from Kensington Palace was released, which notified everybody that Her Royal Highness the Princess of Wales was admitted to the London clinic yesterday for planned abdominal surgery. The surgery was successful and it is expected that she will remain in hospital for 10 to 14 days before returning home to continue her recovery. Based on the current medical advice, she is unlikely to return to public duties until after Easter. Obviously, read the rest if you will, if you want to pause. And then we all remember what happened. This whole rhetoric and disgusting attack of "Where's Kate?" began to happen on social media. And because of that, I firmly believe that she then had to make a statement and a video. She was forced to come out. We all know that she released that particular photo with the children and it was torn to shreds. Now, it is a well-known fact that every single celebrity will at some point edit and manipulate their photos. What then transpired was an absolute pile-on towards a woman who was going through something personal. And I firmly believe that because of this pile-on and absolutely disgusting behaviour on social media, she was then released the video that still people didn't believe her. And what I'm really angered about right now is that it's still going on. Now, along with the video, the statement was also released of the transcript of this video. And I want to highlight a very important part of it. And like I said, I have skin in this game. I have experience with this. So on the 22nd of March this year, it was a transcript of the video message from Catherine, the Princess of Wales. And this was what it said. It said, "I wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you personally for all the wonderful messages of support and for your understanding whilst I've been recovering from surgery. It's been an incredibly tough couple of months for our entire family, but I've had a fantastic medical team who have taken great care of me, for which I am so grateful." And this is the most important part. In January, I underwent major abdominal surgery in London, and at the time it was thought that my condition was non-cancerous. The surgery was successful, however, tests after the operation found cancer had been present. My medical team therefore advised that I should undergo a course of preventative chemotherapy, and I am now in the early stages of that treatment. You can pause to read the rest because that's the bit that I want to focus on. Now, what is going on social media and with some media outlets, I am shocked to even admit, is that they are still questioning and saying, well, it was only precancerous. Precancerous doesn't mean cancer. Read the statement. It was thought to be only precancerous. What happens is that after such operations, tissue samples are taken away and biopsies are taken for analysis. And it was found to be cancer. So therefore she started preventative chemotherapy. That basically means that cancer was present. They have successfully removed it all, but because cancer was present, she has to go on a course of preventative chemotherapy. One very quick and efficient Google search proves that that is a thing. So let's read it, shall we? Preventative or adjuvant chemotherapy plays a pivotal role in cancer care. By targeting residual cancer cells post-surgery, it serves as a critical safeguard against disease reoccurrence, ultimately improving the prognosis for cancer patients. It is essentially a therapy that aims to reduce the risk of the original cancer coming back and spreading. Now, I understand that people are uneducated, but to actually throw missiles directly at somebody who is going through this, I find absolutely abhorrent. Now, I'm just going to put you up some examples of exactly what's being said because I am disgusted. Now, I did wonder whether or not I should grey out the person's Twitter or X handle, but I don't believe in pylons, so I am going to grey them out because, you know, I'm actually putting like a little kind of "you're so stupid" label on them because you can't actually have critical thinking and empathy for anybody that they would go online and do this to somebody that has actually had the worst year of their life. I think that is abhorrent. Imagine having 11 months off work for precancerous cells. When I had precancerous cells, I got the afternoon off work and then back to normal as every other citizen does. Now it makes sense why she avoided actual cancer patients or raising awareness about cancer. The lack of uneducation is astounding with this one. Then she replied, I'm not going to put her tweet that, oh, well, why wasn't the precancerous cells, why weren't they picked up in biopsies before this? Because not everybody's experience is the same. She's assuming, this person here, I say she, because her Twitter or X handle has her name in it, so I can call her a she, and I'm really angry about this, as you can tell, is that it was precancerous cells with regards to the colposcopy element of oncology. Now, if you have ever had a smear or a pap scan, I think, as other people call it, you know that the results come back and it shows you whether or not you have precancerous cells and the level of which you have 1, 2, and 3. You have CIN, 1, 2, and 3, and you also have VAIN, which is lower than the cervix. And although not as common as the CIN, VAIN is a very real thing, and I can attest to that. To calm myself down because this is extremely personal for me. It is extremely I don't know. I just look, I have experience in this. Everybody's experience is different. I went through 12 years of visiting my oncologist every 6 months to play whack-a-mole with cells that just kept popping up. So I'd have treatment and then go back another 6 months where I'd have another smear/pap test, wait for the biopsy results, again come back, whack-a-mole, more treatment, more biopsies, more smears, more treatment, more biopsies, more treatments. But that is my experience. It is not everybody else's experience. Who's to say that that wasn't Princess Catherine's experience? It may not have been anything to do with the cervix. It may not have been anything to do with anything like that. It could have been a completely different part of her abdomen. So these absolute buffoons on social media going, well, I had precancerous cells with my smear test and I didn't get that and I didn't do that. Well done. Congratulations. You're very lucky that you didn't get that. Perhaps it's nothing to do with colposcopy. Perhaps it's something to do with another part of the abdomen that this particular pap/smear test doesn't indicate. There are other part of precancerous cells that can be in the body, and that when a particular part of you is removed then goes off to have biopsies and test samples can come back and say cancer. Now, this particular trait, I just used an example because there are many other tweets. Then we have that, well, she's still got her hair. Well, not everybody loses their hair, do they? NHS Inform, quick Google search. Again, the uneducated and the absolutely buffoonery of these people. Chemotherapy can cause your hair to fall out, but not all chemotherapy drugs can make your hair fall out. There's also things like ice caps that you can use that actually help you from losing your hair. But these idiots don't actually realise that these are a thing. But what makes it worse is that it's Sky News that is actually running with this narrative. They said that in March, the princess confirmed that precancerous cells had been found following abdominal surgery and that she would have to undergo a course of preventative treatment. She didn't say that at all. And the narrative that this has done now on social media, because Sky News haven't actually got their facts correct, is fueling an even bigger pylon. And do you know what? The royal correspondent, Rhianna Mills, needs to actually think about her words before she writes them, because the damage that this particular Sky News article has done, which was released on Monday the 9th of September this year, is still going on today. And people are still running with the fact that, well, it was only precancerous. No, it wasn't. Read the statement again. The damage this has done, still months on, is still hounding her because she's now come back into public life. She was there last night. Princess of Wales joined King Charles and other senior royals, including her husband, at a remembrance event in London on Saturday night, her first major formal appearance since finishing chemotherapy. She was also there at the Remembrance Sunday service at the cenotaph. She was on the balcony with Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh. And this is the reason why it's being brought back again, this horrible narrative that this is all made up, because she is starting some controlled events. I'm just going to put a few up here and just let it sit. And as you can see, any news media on any social media platform that has put anything to do with Princess Catherine being at events over the last couple of days will have comment after comment after comment after comment questioning that she doesn't have cancer, or she didn't have cancer, and then it's complete lies. I actually want to scream. So I just wanted to do a video to try and focus on the lunacy that some people have, the uneducated, the disgusting attitude towards a woman who has battled cancer. And if anybody is listening to this that doesn't believe it, then just think, what would you say if this amount of hate, this amount of questioning, this amount of absolute disgusting pylon was directed to a loved one or yourself if you were going through this? How would you feel? Just because she's a public figure does not make her human. Show some intellect, some education, do your research, and most of all, show compassion. It's that simple. Over and out. I'd love to know your thoughts.
Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell, and also that like button. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers for all the tips and all the emails, DMs that everybody sends to me. It really is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for watching once again.